What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's Deep Dive. My name's Daphne Berry, and we're going to be talking about Dua Lipa today, the woman who turned criticism into a fuck you, into gold, into dynamite. Without further ado, let's just start at the top. It's 2018, and Dua Lipa is performing at Lollapalooza in Berlin. She has just released her song with Calvin Harris, One Kiss. You know, one kiss is all it takes. She releases this song. She's at Berlin Lollapalooza, and she's like, you know what I'm going to perform? The fucking banger that I have written with Calvin Harris. She gets on stage, she's got her little bob, she's cute as fuck, then she dances, right? And she does this choreography that the internet called the pencil sharpener. And I remember reading comments around this time and everybody was like, yes, Dua, give us nothing. Oh, she can't sing and she can't perform. Like the nastiest things you can imagine being written. And this isn't something new. Like we see women in media getting torn apart all the time, like for doing the smallest things. Like if a man had have walked out on stage and done that pencil sharpener, like if Harry Styles walked out on stage and did that pencil sharpener dance, I guarantee you everybody would have been like, that's so cute. Oh, Harry, he's just so like, oh, little pencil sharpener. But because it's a woman, everybody's like, oh, she's so untalented. She can't do shit. She's just doing her best. Also, she's still a baby artist at this point in time. Like 2018, what is that, 7 years ago? Everybody's ripping her a new one. She goes on Twitter, she sees all the hate comments on there, and she says, I'm actually going to quit this app because I can't deal with it. And I don't know the details of what happened, because if I was Dua Lipa, I would have crawled into a tiny hole and like never wanted to come out. And I'm probably sure she did do that for like a bit of time. But then she did this amazing thing where she turned the criticism into gold. So she said, you know what? Those people are wrong about me and I'm capable of a lot and I know I'm capable of a lot. So let me just show them. Let me just show them. The only thing I have to work off on how she's feeling at this time was an interview she did with Rolling Stone years later. And she says this quote, I found it really painful because I'm finally getting to do something that I love to do and I'm being shut down that I just can't even seem to do anything right. So it is affecting her mentally. Like she's like, I'm trying my best, but I can't seem to get anything right for these people. Like, what do they want from me? And when we look at the Dua Lipa we've got today in 2025, the contrast between 2018 and 2025 is insane. The growth, not just like she's become this mega superstar, but the growth in her abilities and her capabilities of performing, it's huge. It's amazing. And so let's just say, Dua, if you're listening, after the haters got on Dua's last nerve, she knuckles down with her next album, Future Nostalgia. But the thing is, Future Nostalgia drops in COVID-19. Her tour is completely cancelled. And what we're not seeing behind the scenes, because COVID, we're all locked inside, is just how much work Dua Lipa is putting in. She's making sure that behind closed doors, when we see Dua Lipa again perform, we eat every single word that we have said. Anything bad that has been said about her, everyone will be like, oh, I've got to put those back in my mouth because I was wrong. And so she's doing Pilates, she's doing yoga, she's like really strength training. So to overcome the isolation hurdles, she's like, well, I've still got to promote my album. I've still got to promote Future Nostalgia. I can't perform live. What can I do? So she comes up with this idea of a online sort of performance and she calls it Studio 2054. We see her performing with 6 backup dancers and they're in these like black and white sort of unitard outfits. And instantaneously we see that Dua Lipa has gone and put the work in. She's also enlisted the help of choreographer Charm LaDonna, who's commonly thought of as one of the most sought after dancers and creative directors of her generation. And she's also now working with artists like Rosalia, Selena Gomez, and she wins 2 VMAs. And to me, when I look at Studio 2054, what I'm thinking is like, that's another fuck you. It's like, okay, watch what I've been doing since 2018, since Lollapalooza. Look at what I can do now. Look at how far I've come. The postponement of Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia tour didn't end there. It was rescheduled several more times until final dates of June 2022 were announced 2 years after the shows were originally intended to take place. And what followed was some of the most polished performances the pop world had seen in years. And there was a video that we saw online, I don't know if you guys remember this, where she does a headstand in heels and she's just showing like, try and get me to do something like that. I'm breaking my neck. Like Dua keeps Charm LaDonna on her team at this point, and she also enlists a new dance captain called Sharon June. The Guardian called her a pop star for the ages in their review of the tour, while The Independent added, the show proves she can actually dance. So during her training, Dua then goes on Instagram and she thanks all of her online critics, saying, getting bullied online made me want to dance my ass off and just really get better. Who here, raise your hand if you can't take a lesson out of Dua's book. Sometimes we get shot down in life. Sometimes bad things happen, but it's what we do with those bad things that define who we are. Of course, I'm sure she felt sorry for herself for a few days, but it's what you do after that. It's how do you come back from that? Do you let it define you? Or do you grow and redefine yourself, if that makes sense? Now, let me just backtrack a little bit. So in 2020, she releases this video, which she made with Vogue, which is like hi, I'm Dua Lipa, and this is how you learn to dance. I'm going to give you a dancing lesson, which again is another like, fuck you, right? So let's fast forward now to Radical Optimism, which is her third studio album. It's her most current album. And the promo for this, we're seeing like in training season, she's in a black leotard, she's hanging from a pole. And I don't know a lot about dancing, but when I look at that, I think you're a dancer, you're a performer. Also in the Houdini music video, you know, I just want to go Houdini. She's in this mirrored dance studio. She's working with Charms. She's working with Sharon. She's still got her ensemble of dancers, but they post this TikTok where they just show these grueling hours of dance rehearsal, and it just goes to show again how much work she is putting in to being the best that she can possibly be. In 2024, Dua Lipa gets invited to the Grammys and she's asked to perform Training Season. And to any single person that ever doubted what she was capable of, this performance was the ultimate, hey, look at me, I've gotten better. I'm really good at what I'm doing now. And she wasn't wrong. People instantly took to TikTok and they're trying to recreate the moves that she performed at the Grammys. And I just find the irony in that. The internet at one point is tearing her apart saying you can't dance. And then we fast forward 6 years later and everybody is on the internet now copying her moves and trying to replicate what Dua Lipa is putting out into the world. This must have felt so good to her. And then in September 2024, her hard work is recognized by the industry where she wins Best Choreography Award at the MTV Music Awards for her track Houdini. Dua Lipa goes from being a meme and a mockery and being called the pencil sharpener to being simply one of the hardest working people in the industry, which is what her dance captain calls her. And this just sends such a strong message to women, to everyone, but for the purpose of me, because I'm a woman, that's what I can speak of the most, is that people will try and shut you down. It's very easy to say negative things, but what she did with that is something that we should all look to. You know, you focus on the goal. You don't, it's like you're being in a car. You look out the front. You don't look in the rear view mirror. You're looking at the direction you're going. Props to Dua Lipa. Like, it's just awesome. It's really, really awesome. Please subscribe to YouTube or follow us on Spotify or wherever you're listening to this episode. It really means a lot to us. It means we can keep creating more content like this. This is one of my favorite little deep dives I've done in a while because nothing makes me happier than seeing women succeed and do what makes them happy. And it is so easy for us to tear women down in this world. So more power to us. Let's just keep going, doing what we love. And yeah, fuck the noise, I think is the message that we take from this one. Believe in yourself. Bye, guys.